Hey guys, Justin here with JHart Modelworks. The Lamborghini Gallardo is finished. The Ferrari 275 Spider is on hold until the replacement wheels from Kraska Studios comes in. That leaves me without a project. So it is time to start something new. Know what you're saying? Alright, Justin, which Ferrari or Lamborghini is it going to be? I promise it is neither a Ferrari nor a Lamborghini. Our next build is going to be the latest reboxing of Revell's Shelby 427 Cobra SC. When I first started modeling as an adult, I did a Shelby Cobra, I believe it was a Revell reboxing of a monogram kit, or maybe it was just a monogram kit, one or the other. It came from Hobby Lobby. It didn't have the scoop on it, and that build came out absolutely terrible. I know it's my first build, but yeah, it's horrible. None of the glass survived. The window frame, the frame for the glass is broken. It was supposed to be a metallic red, and it is not quite metallic brown, with absolutely not silver racing stripes, and just everything about it is pretty horrible. So we're going to build again, and we're going to see what we can get done this time around. Let's go ahead and get the camera flipped around, and let's take a look at what we got in this box. All right, so here we go. We have some information about the car, as well as paint callouts for paints you should purchase according to them. We've got some nice box art, some pictures of a finished build. I'm going to open this up, and we have this little cardboard piece here, which is really nice because if you order this online and it gets shipped, a lot of times these boxes get crushed. This just gives it a little bit more stability. We have our body. We have our clear sprue, which I've left in the bag for right now. You get one really big chrome sprue with a ton of parts on it. One, two, three white sprues, some tires. They look to be vinyl of some sort. Yeah, there it is. I knew there was something else in here. And you get a clear red sprue for the taillights. Decals. Oh, I guess I've got this upside down, don't I? They're not bad. They're not amazing. I find things like these hood latches are pretty unrealistic. The coloring is just kind of weird. There's just something about the coloring that's just off a bit on a lot of this stuff. But you have some seat belts down in there, well, racing harnesses, stuff like that. We have our instructions, which again, you have all of your paint callouts over here. And then we have a nice list of all of the parts and what they are in the instructions. And then a layout of all the sprues and what all should be in the box so you can compare with what you've got. Book style instructions, which is nice. I prefer these to the big foldouts. They're a little easier to handle. The diagrams look to be nice and clear. We have 39 steps in the instructions. And finally some decal placement and kind of markings, if you will. That takes care of the flat stuff. We have our clear sprue, which these clear parts are actually really quite nice. I mean, that is pristinely clear. You get a small little half windshield if you want to go the really small racing route. You get your standard windshield with the clear sun visors. You get the little wing windows, which I have had no success with on these at all. And it looks like one of them is scratched already. Yep. There is a scratch in that side window. We may be able to polish that out, though. That may just be a surface scratch. If so, we'll be in luck. We have a set of headlight lenses, and then we have another set of headlight lenses, which don't make a lot of sense because there are not 4 headlights, nor are there any form of fog lights on this car. I may add some as like a 3D aftermarket type deal. We'll see. I don't know. Plans are fluid at this moment. I'm going to get that back in the bag to reduce the likelihood of any further scratching. Moving on, we have our body. And all in all, it is pretty clean. There is some flash here by the holes for the bumpers. So you're going to want to get that cleaned up, and you're definitely going to want to test fit those bumperettes. That was my experience with the first build, was I had a lot of trouble getting the bumperettes to sit in here. So you may need to just take a drill bit and open these up a little bit and then get everything sanded clean. You can kind of see through here, there's some really nasty mold seams on this body. They are very pronounced, so you're going to want to make sure you get those cleaned up as well. They also run across here and along that lip. They run straight up along these fenders. Coming back here, they're going to run across the back, so you're going to want to clean up the back as well as down through here. So like I said, you're just going to want to take your time and get everything nice and smooth, and these should clean up pretty easy. They're easily accessible. Nothing's in an area where it's going to be really difficult. You just want to make sure you take your time. There are some holes on the inside here. If you choose to use the roll bar, you're going to want to drill these out, as those are the locating holes for where you see the roll bar up here. Our first white sprue. There's this gorgeous tonneau cover if you intend to use it. I'm probably not going to use it on my build, but if you look, it's got the wrinkles are molded in. I mean, that is really, really nice. All your little bolts are molded in. It's got a really nice curvature that follows that body. And that follows the body really well. We have our hood, and it's got the hood scoop molded into it. The first kit I built did not have a hood scoop at all. We have some fairly nice detail on the dashboard here. You can't really see it because of this white plastic, and even with the bright light, even if I turn the light off, you still can't see it very well. But all of these gauges are molded. At the same time, you also have decals. So there is that. The back side of our wheels, which basically there's no brakes on the kit. I guess they're all drum brakes, but I'm going to be doing something different. I've already decided we're going to be modernizing this a little bit on this build. Pretty nice, very basic interior tub, but that's how these cars are. These cars are incredibly bare bones. You have some exhaust pieces here, steering, and your firewall. So the firewall is pretty nice. It is fairly detailed on some things up here. Now this is a kit from 1989 or 88, something in that range. So this is a fairly old retool kit, but it's still pretty clean. It's coming out really nice. I don't see a lot of flash. I don't see a lot of wear. Everything looks to be molded pretty crisply. Again, we got some more suspension parts, transmission, or rear axle. Sorry, this is a rear diff. The seats leave a little bit to be desired, to be honest with you. These are a pretty iconic kind of Cobra seat, but I may be replacing them with something 3D printed because I have not seen that these are really, I don't know. When you put them in with the way they sit in the interior, you probably won't see them, but I may use them. We'll see. We have our chassis, which does have some copyright marking in here, copyright 1988 Revell. So this is a retool. There's also some stamping right up here that you're going to want to shave off and clean up. At least it's fairly accessible, but yeah, it says Revell 1988 China on it. Engine block is pretty nice. You've got some more suspension pieces in here. This I'm not in love with. This is the oil cooler. Because of the white plastic, you can't see the detail, but there is some molded in mesh in the front and in the back. But this is really generic and it doesn't look the part at all. The backside, and I know you're not going to see the backside, but the backside of these hoses is just completely flat. That should be hosing. I was going to actually cut the hosing off and replace it with some Protec wire, some of the wrapped wire, but you can't really do that because the back half of the fitting isn't there. It's just completely flat. So I'll most likely cut that completely off and just 3D print some fittings so I can run some line there. There is a bit of flash on these springs. Get in there with the hobby knife. You should be able to clean it up. It's not terrible though. All in all, it's not bad. These are just the taillights in here, and there is some texture molded on the inside here, as well as a locating notch that goes to the top. So these are actually, they're really nice. It's just going to be a matter of making sure you can clean them up and glue them in without breaking them. That's a problem I had on the first build that I had, was I broke one of these in half. One of the many problems I had on that build. And finally, we have this massive chrome sprue. The valve covers are very tall. They do have some lettering on them. There's some knockoffs for your wheels. You have those Halabrand wheels. I am going to be replacing these with some of the exact same wheels. They're going to be Halabrands, but I'm using the Z-Force Modelworks ones with a thinner, low-profile modern tire. I'm going with 19 fronts and 20 rears. It's going to give me a really nice stance. Some other things to point out. Yes. These, I believe, are the hood pins for the very front. They're little levers that you twist to open the hood, and they break very easily, so be careful when you're pulling these off. You also want to be careful with this trim because it is very thin and very easy to break. The windshield wipers are molded in. I don't love it. Part of me wants to take some nippers and cut them off and maybe 3D model some or use some photo etch. But again, this frame is so incredibly fragile. I'm very leery of doing anything with it. I know I broke mine in 2, maybe 3 places just working with it the first time I built this kit. There are some unfortunate placings for some of the sprue points that are going to make using the kit chrome a little difficult. Any chrome pieces I use will end up getting stripped and re-chromed. And then there's these exhausts. Now, let's be honest, these are absolutely terrible. These are the outside of the exhaust, and then you have the inside. And these are going to glue together, and they're going to give you a massive seam along the center where it's very visible. My understanding from people who built this version of this kit is that they don't seam up evenly. Sometimes there's gaps in them, and that's going to be a challenge if you're going to use them. I will not be using them. Ollie Vizzle on Colts 3D has 3D modeled up a beautiful set of the Shelby Cobra exhausts. There are no seams. They print up really, really nice. Now I've cut all the supports off so that I can, clean these up and get them repainted. But as you can see, compared to the pieced together ones, they're terrible. Also in Ollie Vizzle's set are, there we go. These are the exhausts that have the plating over them. There's like a heat shield plate that had holes in it. I really like the look of these. I'm probably going to go with these, but I'm printing both sets just to see which one I like better. But Ollie Vizzle on Colts 3D, check them out. I'll put a link to this file because it is a really, really good file. And last but not least, we have these tires, which they are staggered front to back. They're thinner in the front than they are in the back. They are significantly smaller in the front than they are in the back. They've got the tread pattern on them is, it's there. There's a bad seam that runs up the middle. Definitely going to have some points here where you're going to want to remove this and then stick these on a drill with some sort of connector, whether you're using the socket method or you've got a tool like I do, but you're definitely going to want to get these sanded to smooth these out. And they're not bad, but this vinyl is incredibly, incredibly shiny. So you may want to hit these with some flat clear of some sort just to dull these down. Yeah, all in all, pretty much just kind of generic tires. All right, guys, that is going to be a wrap for the unboxing video. I am super excited to get on this. I really am excited to see the difference between this one and the first kit that I built when I first started seriously building as an adult. To see that difference, I think is going to be really cool. When we do the finale video, we're going to take another look at that build so you can see all the things that just went horribly wrong with it, and we can compare it to this one. I've got a really cool color from a company called the Spray Source. It is a 1-to-1 automotive paint, but my test sprays look really good. It doesn't look like it's going to be crazy out of scale. And this may just be the answer to a color that I have tried many, many times to pull off and just have never really succeeded. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I always appreciate you watching and supporting the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one.